Hey everyone, with this video today, I want to spend some time getting the chance to just share some songs that I really like that just happen to resonate with me. With these tracks, these are ones that I had discovered for the past few months now and something I've been playing a lot. And in terms of like the objective or purpose of this video, I kind of want to take the chance to kind of just share the type of music I listen to in hopes that it will resonate with other people or people kind of like discover new music that they may have never knew existed, or just suggestions for songs that they could add to their own playlist as well, right? I think because a lot of music I listen to is on SoundCloud, I feel like it's more often than not, the tracks I find are very niche, very underground and low key, right? Like you have to kind of have an idea of what you're looking for, or like have the algorithm have a good idea of what kind of music you like to listen to be able to find stuff like this. And I think um, with that being the case, like I want to definitely take the opportunity to share that as well and share with people like what kind of music I listen to. Music to me is very important because I feel like it's a pretty accurate depiction of who I am as a person in relation to my identity, my feelings, my emotions, right? I could say in the last few years, like the type of music and the genre of music I listen to definitely is an extension of who I am as well. And with this playlist, I have selected 10 different tracks that I want to share. I'll be playing about 1 minute of each song at differing parts, I guess is what I want to say, right? Like with so many songs, there's like a specific part, whether it's in the middle or even at the end of the track, that I really like. So I'll probably be skipping around as well. But a big part of why I'm only going to be playing 1 minute of each track is just because I don't have much time. I don't want to be sitting here recording so much, right? Because if I were to play everything, it'll probably take like an hour just to create this video. But aside from that, let's get started. So the first song that I'm going to be playing is Paranoia. There's a string of numbers as well, 2022, 0912. Unfortunately, I don't know what the artist is or who the artist is in terms of pronunciation or even typing this, just because this is not a character that I'm familiar with. But let's get started with the song. So with that particular track, right, I think what I like so much about it is just this idea that it has a very nostalgic sound to it. Like it reminds me of just like some kind of indie tracks that I would have listened to like years back when I was much younger. And on top of that, it's kind of gives me like an anime vibe. I think something I want to recognize and acknowledge as well is that I don't really know how to describe music or explain or put them in context of certain things. So I'm kind of just going based off intuition and feeling and vibes. But like with a song like this, I just feel as if I am kind of like a protagonist or a character in an anime series, right? And the title alone, Paranoia, kind of like gives this like very ominous like connotation and feeling. And that's kind of like the first song that I wanted to share. Moving on to the next one. This one is Varg² TM, Eurohead featuring Bladee and Echo 2K. And the track is H2D, and this is a remix as well. This one I think I'm gonna skip a bit forward. So with this particular song, I really like that gradual build up to something that ends up being much more suspenseful. Yeah, I feel like this song gives like very abstract vibes to it, which is something I really appreciate, right? Like there's like elements of like ambience and just like incoherent sounds and just it isn't clear what is being conveyed, right? I feel like because the vocals are kind of like choppy and kind of like lo-fi and like abstract, things and feelings are kind of left to your interpretations. Like I think with some songs, it's very clear, cut and dry with like how you should feel about it or what you should think about it. Like lyrics being just very like obvious with like the theme or the topic of the track. But this one is kind of just this like very ambiguous track that I really appreciate for that reason. Moving on to the next song, this one is Thrillium Angels, Love Burns, featuring DJ Polyplus, UC. One thing I want to mention before I start talking about this track, I really appreciate the thumbnail of the song. Like the sunrise is brutal. It has like this 3D rendering of a character. I mean, just that phrase alone, right? That statement, the sunrise is brutal. It's just so poetic to me. And I think like the nice thing about SoundCloud, I'm not entirely sure about like, I take that back. It doesn't have to be specifically to a music platform, but obviously like with these artists, whatever image or photo they attach to a song is always very intentional, right? And I think with this one in particular, like this is something that I just truly appreciate because it's just, again, going back to the idea of just like being very poetic. And back onto the topic of the song as well specifically, I'm not totally sure what language this song is in, but I don't know, it just sounds really beautiful. It sounds very ethereal, very calming and soothing. And even just the name of the song as well, Love Burns, right? I think this is something that a lot of us can like resonate with as well. Even though I may not understand what the song is saying, I think more often than not, that's not something that's important to me. What's more important is kind of just like the energy or like the connotations that I could kind of like take away from whatever it is I'm listening to. Next song, GNB CHILI, No Matter What He Did, He's Still My Hero. This is a song that I was generally obsessed with like throughout the entirety of summer, playing this so many times, sharing it with so many different friends as well. And just this very specific part that I really love. Somewhere around here. Hopefully, yes, it could be right here. Yeah, I don't know. Like when I listen to this song specifically, I feel like victory is in reach and I feel victorious. I feel so hopeful and optimistic because it's just like the energy of the song is just like high tempo, right? And just that's one way I kind of like perceive this song. But I think something else I really appreciate too is kind of just like that 8-bit chiptune, incoherent like voice and like whoever's like singing or like whatever is making that sound, right? Like the very, let me play it again. Like, I'm not entirely sure how to like describe what that even is, right? But I think that's something like I generally appreciate as well. It kind of just reminds me of like a video game, some kind of like very like dated 8-bit type of thing. But another song that's just happens to be one of my favorites as well. Moving on to the next one. Before I continue playing, this song is something that is definitely meaningful to me in so many different ways because I can recall listening to this back in like 2011. I'm gonna skip a little bit forward before the So with this track, it was a stereocrush or stereo. I can't remember the original song's name, Stereo Love, I believe. But this cover was by Vio Lino, and it's titled Stereocrush. So this is like an acoustic cover with like some other like elements added to it as well. I think for me, it just sounds so beautiful. And I think I describe another track like this as well, but like very ethereal as well, right? I think when I do listen to like instrumental or like acoustic tracks, it kind of had like this element of lightness and airiness as well. And that's something that I really appreciate about this song cover. But also something I did mention as well, right, is like Stereo Love was a very significant song to me back in 2011. I can remember I was like a senior in high school, or at that point I had already graduated, and this song was being played all the time on the radio. And that was just like a song that me and my friends at that time really appreciated and loved listening to. So having this like mix or this cover or like a different iteration of this song draws back so much nostalgia to me as well, right? And I think just like the vibes of the song as well, it's hard to kind of like assess how I should feel. Like, is it where I'm meant to be hopeful or sad? But despite that, it's just I don't know, a song that I truly love and enjoy. Next song, Sister Maple Fairy Song featuring Velvet or Vylet Pony.
Wrap yourself inside your wings and fall to the earth below. Through that looking glass, there's a world you know. Pixie dust from a broken heart. I love dreams we shall depart. Live my life that way I want. A devil's soul this fairy haunts. And I've been thinking about it, I've been living out it. I'm the nightmare of your dreams. And I've been feeling better ever since I heard your jealous screams. Pixie dust from a broken heart. I love dreams we shall depart. Live my life that way I want. A devil's soul this fairy haunts. And I've been thinking about it, I've been living out it. I'm the nightmare of your dreams. And I've been feeling better ever since I heard your jealous screams. And I've been thinking about it, I've been living out it. I'm the nightmare of your dreams. And I've been feeling better ever since I heard your jealous screams.
I think the picture alone, even as the title of the song, right, does kind of like matches perfectly with the vibes of the song. Like when I listen to this, it does give me like this very whimsical, magical feeling. Like, what was that like micro trend that had happened a few years back? It was like cottagecore, right? I think listening to this song reminds me so much of cottagecore, where it's just like very whimsical and like magical, and I could like imagine like fairies kind of just like fluttering around and flying around me as I'm like listening to this song as well. This is the original track, but I can recall like prior to finding this one, there was a remix, kind of like more hyperpop adjacent version of this that I really enjoyed, and eventually I came across this one, which I enjoy much more. And this is the one I definitely wanted to share in this particular video. Moving on, next track is going to be Deathbrain, I Fall Asleep in a Sea of Clouds. With this one, there's a very specific part that I want to skip to as well. It's like kind of like towards the end of the track. So with this song, I feel like this is a song I really love playing whenever I'm just like out in public, whether I'm at work or even just walking down the street, like in downtown. Like I would just have my headphones on and I'll just be playing this music, or rather this track specifically. And I don't know, I just feel like I'm empowered. I feel so much joy and happiness, right? Like I feel like this particular song just like brings so much peace to me because that's kind of like the vibe it gives off. And I think just by listening to it in public or even just like right now, like it just mellows me out and kind of just like put me in a very like peaceful state of mind. And I think that's something that more often than not, I'm always trying to have present in my life, right? Like no one, me specifically, like I don't want to be stressed out. I don't want to be depressed, right? So listening to a song like this kind of just like grounds me back to reality, grounds me back to being myself as well, right? And kind of just reminding myself like, hey, take a step back and breathe and kind of just declutter your mind as well. I think that's definitely something that I definitely want to emphasize with this particular song and how it makes me feel whenever I listen to it. Seems like we have about 3 more songs to go as well. With this particular song, I'm not entirely sure what that says at all, but in the case that anyone might want to find the song specifically, you can always look up my SoundCloud. It's going to be Digitally Decay. This song, I would imagine it's probably in one of my playlists, more recent ones, like Doomgaze, if I could recall correctly. But it's there. So then if you ever want to find this track specifically, just go to my SoundCloud unless you're able to type out these characters. But let's get started. So with that song being really short, I figured I might as well just play the entirety of it as well. And I feel like with this particular song, it gives me like shoegaze, like indie vibes. So then whenever I find music like this, I kind of like categorize it as like doomgaze. Because there's like the elements of shoegaze in my opinion. Granted, I don't really listen to shoegaze, so like I don't even know if that's even a appropriate or even correct like label for this particular track. However, that's kind of just the feelings I get from it. And then usually with these songs too, like the vocals are in Japanese. They're made by Japanese musicians and artists as well. So rather than just calling it shoegaze, I kind of just associate it with like this label I created for myself to kind of categorize this song, which is doomgaze, right? I feel like, yeah, I don't really know. I think that's kind of like the best way for me to like describe this song. But despite that, I want to say it's like a really good song as well. I definitely want to be looking at my shoes and kind of just like be chilling and vibing and kind of just, I don't know. I feel like the song kind of has like a level of angst to it as well, which I really appreciate. Right? Like it feels angsty as well. And I think that's something that I definitely want to point out. Again, going back to the idea of, right, like songs can have different vibes and emotion and feelings that they can give a person to like interpret and like feel. And I think that's definitely something that I get from this as well. And when I think of angsty, I think of my younger self. And honestly, even now, like I feel like that's kind of the case sometimes as well. Despite the fact that I'm in my early 30s, I could be angsty at times. Next song is going to be Sadmachine, Mellow, Muffler. This is a song that I actually found yesterday. It was suggested to me through my algorithm, and it's something that I've been playing repeatedly for the past 24 hours now. So I would definitely want to get a chance to share this. And I want to skip to a very specific part. So I think for me, like my favorite part of the song is like that 120 minute like area right here. Like that part just sounds so sick to me. I don't know, like where do I even start with the song, right? Like I think it's just something I really appreciate is just like high energy. It's like almost like is an iteration of trance, but I can't really like put the specific like label to it. If anything, very kind of like Y2-esque, like DDR vibes to me. But even just like the image for the song as well, right? Like whoever chose the song, like the artist, um, it's like very like post-digital art. And this is something that I really enjoy making myself as well. Like this is kind of like the aesthetic and the type of art that I like to make and consume. And I think like this kind of like music and sound like definitely is something that truly resonates with me as an artist. Like if anything, I'll kind of consider this like cyber trance in some way as well. Yeah. And with that, let's move on to the last song. This is by Julia and it's Clarity. This is going to be another cover track as well.
Right before we crash, 'cause we both know how this ends. The clock ticks as it breaks your glass, and I drown in you again. 'Cause you are the piece of me I wish I didn't need. Chasing relentlessly, still flying, I don't know why. If this tragedy will
And I'm going to skip towards the end as well, just because there's a part here that I really like. Wait, might have skipped too much forward. Let me try to find it. Yeah, this being the final track, I feel like this is the perfect way to end the video. Clarity was something that's really important to me, especially during my early 20s. I felt like this was a song that me and a lot of friends really appreciated at that time. That was a time when I was really into like going to like festivals and like more mainstream raves and like EDM events. And I remember just like Clarity being like this significant song in so many different people's lives, including myself. And now getting the chance to kind of like hear it in a different iteration and version, it's amazing. And I think finding this song these past few months when I was going through a lot helped me as well. Right? I think it, like when you go through heartbreak, you kind of gravitate towards listening to songs that are very sad for some reason. And I think this is definitely the song that I was gravitating towards when I was going through those experiences of separation and heartbreak the past few months. And this song definitely was my clarity, among a lot of these other songs as well. And with that, I want to say thank you so much for getting to the end of this video. Hopefully some of these songs resonate with you and end up being like good suggestions for you to add to your playlist. It's my first time doing something like this, so maybe hopefully sometime in the future things will transition better or easily or less awkward. I don't know. I kind of felt like there are times throughout this recording where it kind of felt awkward, but it takes time and practice, right? Hopefully I'll get better with this as well as all the other YouTube related stuff. And with that, bye everyone.